Nigeria Securities and Exchange Commission says online investment and trading platforms facilitating the trading of foreign securities not registered in Nigeria are to desist from such activities. In a statement, the Commission reiterated its rules that states that only foreign securities listed on any exchange registered in Nigeria may be issued, sold, or offered for sale or subscription to the Nigerian public. Gbite Oduneye, CEO of EGM Group, and Bismarck Ruwane, CEO of Financial Derivatives, joined me to discuss this development. Thank you, gentlemen, for taking the time out to join us today. Now, this is a developing story that we are tracking. But let me start with you, Bismarck. What do you make of this recent statement by the SEC? Now, we understand that this began with one of the companies, Chaka, in December 2020, when the SEC ruled that its activities were not in compliance with the existing rules. That's the Investment and Securities Act of 2007. But what do you make of how this is unfolding?
Well, my understanding of this is there's something that's happening. That is one, the fact that capital account activities in Nigeria are still regulated by the exchange control rules. Secondly, the question of store of value. And therefore, there was a recent ruling as regards cryptocurrencies and all. So basically, there's investor protection on one hand, there's exchange control regulations on the other, and then there's the Investment and Trustee Act. And so I think that what you are seeing is a regulator trying to, on one hand, protect investors. Two, lack of understanding of how volatile the international markets are. And three, the whole question of the digital platform on which people are trading. So they're asking you to be cautious. And so that is one thing, because I have to draw your attention to the fact that a couple of years ago, the Pension Act stated categorically that only the president, in writing, can authorize any closed or open pension fund to invest in currencies other than Naira and traded on Nigerian Stock Exchange. So there has been a slow, reluctant, but steady movement towards accepting convertibility of currency on one hand. Two, that money is fungible. And three, that investments, that rational investors will take positions no matter what. I think that's where we're standing. That's where I see it right now.
Gbite, I'd like to hear your perspective. It would appear that the investment tech community is not clear on what the rules of engagement are when as stipulated by the SEC. What is your take on how this is unfolding?
Well, firstly, thank you very much for having me, Esther. Firstly, I think I would like to clarify a number of things. A number of the operators that are existing within the space, I would like to term a number of them as innovators. Because what they're doing is they're doing something that hasn't been done before. Us at EGM Group, where we were in the process of launching a product called Tajiri, which would enable our clients to trade US stock and Nigerian stock. Now, we understand in the past for Nigerian stock, you would need a broker-dealer license, or you would need regulations that would enable you to do that. Now, what has happened with the innovative companies, they've woken up this morning and things have been, their dreams and have been shattered. Now, they have not just, appeared to offer US stock. What they have done, obviously, looking at the retail clients' protection, they have partnered with capital market operators, people that are regulated by the Securities Exchange Commission. They've done that, of course, to ensure client protection and to ensure that they're offering best practices. They have also partnered with their foreign counterparts who are also regulated in the US, meaning that the Nigerian clientele that does use any of these platforms to trade are also protected by all the protections that a US client will be protected by. Now, I completely understand the position of the Securities Exchange Commission. Offering products that haven't been offered before, the same thing that happened with cryptocurrency. So this ban today, we do know, I know Chak had mentioned a couple of weeks ago that they have been in conversations with SEC, and for them to continue on the process, it means that they have either come to some sort of agreement, or SEC is looking into regulation. Now, ourselves, we're 3 months away from launching our Nigerian and US stock trading business. And we were going to do it the other way. We were capitalized enough, so we were going to go ahead and get a broker-dealer license to enable our clients take advantage of Nigerian stock and also US stock. We're looking forward to find out exactly what SEC's position is. And we completely understand, because their duty is to protect the interests of the Nigerian market and to the integrity of the Nigerian exchange. But just to give numbers and to put things into perspective, just as we've seen with cryptocurrency, it's a massive market globally, massive market. But saying it's a massive market does not mean that I suppose any of us have the right to just go ahead and launch a product. But I would like to clarify that all these companies that have launched and ourselves that we were looking to launch this product, that we have looked into things, and we've partnered with capital market operators to ensure that we are offering these services in guidance with regulation.
Bismarck, let me bring you in here. Now, do you think that the SEC, due to the highly innovative nature of the fintech space, particularly what we're seeing within the investment tech space, that the SEC may need to come up with a different set of regulations rather? I say this because one of the companies that was affected, Chaka put out a statement recently saying that the company has taken necessary steps to register with the SEC for a newly created license.
Well, Esther, really, the truth is this, that Nigerian regulators and policymakers are slow in the uptake. The market is hungry, has an appetite for new products. They're looking for yields. And when you have interest rates on fixed income securities of 2%, and you have inflation at 17, 18%, obviously it becomes a necessity to look for where you can actually cover the inflation element of your cost, and also the exchange rate depreciation. When you add the two together, Nigerian investors are hungry, and providers are also, innovators and disruptors are also offering at the same time. But let us step back a minute and ask ourselves. It was only 2 years ago that the Evidence Act in Nigeria was amended to allow for electronic copies of documents as evidence. It was only about 2 or 3 years ago that, or this year and last year, that virtual meetings were allowed for courts in Nigeria. The cryptocurrency ban, as you know, was announced by the central bank. Securities and Exchange Commission followed. But crypto prices are being quoted every day on television channels. In fact, China launched their own crypto legal tender 2 days ago. So the world is moving at a particular speed. The momentum is there. Our policymakers have to actually catch up one, but you need to regulate out of knowledge, not out of fear. You need to be less prohibitive and more collaborative with the rest of the world. But that's the truth. So what am I saying here? I'm saying that regulators and policymakers have to lift their game, have to come to speed, and not hold the market back. But at the same time, the markets have to understand that because of the premature nature of our markets and our regulation framework, that we need more time to catch up with this, but not as an impediment to innovation, growth, and disruption.
Now, Gbite, for this company, one of the affected companies, Chaka, I mean, this story first broke last year, I think December 2020, where the SEC declared their activities, declared the company as unregistered, and now we're in April, and we know that this matter has gone back and forth. Do you think that, because some people say that there might be some elements of protectionism, if you will, ensuring that there isn't any sale of foreign traded securities, but the SEC insists that it is not against innovation, and all these companies need to do is just to register with the SEC, and perhaps we can all move on. But do you fear that there might be some more foot dragging, as Bismarck has alluded to? Our regulators, the CBA and SEC, perhaps appear to need some more time to, look around and see how these things work, especially how they're unfolding in other climes.
Well, in this case, I think this case is slightly different from cryptocurrencies. And reason being, cryptocurrencies, have not been regulated globally, but securities is a regulated market across the globe. So of course, no matter what we think as innovators, the Security Exchange remit is to protect retail investors. And if clients are offering products when they're not regulated, it's the duty of the Securities Exchange Commission to ensure that all these companies are doing best practices. So we understand what it is they're doing. I mean, the FinTech Association of Nigeria, a fantastic association with fantastic members, have been lobbying the Securities Exchange Commission and CBN on a number of these issues. And I believe we will continue to lobby, because it really is a gap in understanding. But at the same time, they do have to regulate. Yes, there is that fear, and it's a real fear, and it's something that should both worry the innovators bringing products to the. I think it's the Securities Exchange Commission would be, and that is into investments on the Nigerian Stock Exchange and the number of products that's offered in Nigeria. So that could also be something that could be worrying them. But on the face of it, yes, it's a bit like I said, it's frustrating for us that operate within the space. But we're just going to continue discussing with them. What we would say, and this is imperative, we don't mean to, we don't want to frustrate or embarrass them to get it regulated, because that would not happen. They'll just shut down the whole thing. But what we do want to say is that payments globally, payment systems, the ways in which people make payments has become very easy. Things like the US stock, trading in Tesla, Google, and Apple globally, not just in the US, in a number of jurisdictions, China, India, and in Europe, is taken off. And we don't see it coming, we don't see it slowing down. We see the members of the millennials and the Gen X people investing more and more in these products. Now, yes, we should regulate, and we should regulate well, but we should not ban or push it across, because all this will go offshore. There are loads of innovative foreign companies. We saw Luna, which is a UK company, offer cryptocurrencies to Nigerians. So I think we would love to sit down with SEC, as well as a number of all these fantastic companies that operate within the space, to come to a situation where we can, of course, protect the market, because a protected market is better for all of us as innovators.
Absolutely.
To be able to grow and to grow. But we do think there are a number of people that we have been speaking to in SEC directly and through the FinTech Association of Nigeria, and we do think they're innovative. We do think they're forward-thinking. It might just take a little bit of time, but we're very, very
I'm going to have to bring in Bismarck here. Bismarck, let me just close up with you. How do you see this playing out, and what are the potential downsides if we do not, while of course there has to be due diligence, and at the end of the day, the Nigerian customer has to be adequately protected. But are there downsides if we do not move as fast as we should?
No, there are downsides, but the question is that it's not if, but it's when. The Nigerian regulators and policymakers always catch up eventually. So the operators and the FinTech Association have to bear in mind the fact that it is true, but in very shortly, I know a lot of work is going on behind the scene. Very shortly, the Securities and Exchange Commission and the Central Bank of Nigeria and other self-regulatory organizations are going to come together, and I'm sure by Q2 latest, there should be some clarity, not to be an impediment to progress, but actually as a partner with these guys to ensure that only those who are duly registered, who have the minimum capital requirements, who have the capacity and the people to run and have the experience and expertise will be allowed to participate. If failing which, there'll be a problem for the entire market, and I don't think that's what the policymakers have in mind. So I think let's just give ourselves a little bit more time. The lobbying should continue to tell them that the market is in a hurry, but I think we'll just make haste cautiously, that's all.